Addendum to previous video about the WOW signal. I went ahead and found finally, and I've already updated that video description, I found a source for being able to find out what freaking stars were the most likely source for the WOW signal. So I'll just read the information back to you. This is a short version. 1977, August 15th at 2200 hours, 16 minutes and 1 second, Big Ear radio telescope at 1.4204556 gigahertz, channel number 2, negative horn, because that had a positive negative horn to mix the signals together to cancel out the noise. Negative horn, most likely, picked up this WOW signal that came from Sagittarius. Now, the most likely sources are going to be listed. There's more than one. That horn pointed at more stars, and that's also where the stars were in the center of where it would be picked up, which also matches the timing for when it was picked up with the curve fit. As TYC 6884, and it's either star number 192 or 209. Or it could maybe, if it was the positive feed horn, then it would be TYC 6884, and it would be star number 2254-1. The others were like, 192- whatever, 1 or 5 or whatever. Through the positive horn. That's less likely, but okay. And this was sequenced as 6EQUJ5 as simple intensity levels. It was not in any way an audio recording at all. This is something I'm able to confirm because of the following data. At 30 kHz above and 120 kHz above on channel number 7 and channel 16 designated 50 kHz and 140 kHz above the bias frequency was another set of signals that were almost exactly 1/5 intensity only during peak, which would be a really short period of time, like 5 seconds. Based on measuring its bandwidth as 10 kHz wide bands for each channel and 50 channels making a really large range of frequencies. It's a spectrum analyzer. This was event notation received in a 72-second sweep with 6 samples. Working out like 12 seconds or something like that. Something dark side. 6 samples for, that's about right. This sweep occurred, and this was at a 30-to-1 signal ratio near the hydrogen line at 1.42041 gigahertz. This was, in my opinion, this is what the signal was. It wasn't audio. It was nothing recorded because it couldn't be any audio recording. So every audio recording you hear of this is actually a piece of music called Biogenesis by Pioneers of Love, a band, on their album Contact. I'm not kidding. I'll have a link below to the description. But this is my opinion of it. Because the one signal is really intense and the other two are two signals mathematically very similar to each other 4 times. They're they're even multiples, not harmonics necessarily. This was the upper sideband of a signal that was centered around almost exactly the hydrogen line. In fact, I would dare say that literal frequency at 1.4204556 gigahertz would constitute it being an attempt at hitting the hydrogen line and missing it slightly, but only slightly, like it's just above the hydrogen line. So the lower band, the lower side band is there. So this effectively acted as a receiver picking up the carrier and upper side band only, which is just fine. We got the signal. We got signal. We have trim. It's trimmed off at the bottom. What was this? This was absolutely not some natural phenomena because the frequency spectrum is a math ratio. 30 kHz and 120 kHz are not audio frequency. They're also not video frequency. They're data frequencies for low bandwidth data communications. And it was at a frequency you're not allowed to use internationally, so you wouldn't get it mixed up. Maybe somebody just hit the wrong frequency. But this was 2 modulations in AM of it being a carrier carrying 30 and 120 kHz. Probably a test tone. All I need to know now is which star it really was and how far away it was in time. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck.